Hey guys, it is Daily Barclay of the Start Shoot Grow Video Academy. I'm so excited to talk to you today. Today we are talking about teleprompters. So if you feel like you get confused when you are recording your content, or you're a bit nervous before you record, and you feel like you forget things out and all that jazz, this video is for you. I'm going to share a few tips about why using a teleprompter can be helpful for you, and then I'll go into what teleprompter I use here in the Start Shoot Grow studio. So if you want to know more about how you can use a teleprompter in your video recording workflow, definitely stay tuned. All right. Hey guys. Hey, it is Zaylee, and you're probably wondering, am I using a teleprompter for this video? The honest answer is no. Right now, I'm not using a teleprompter, but what I have done before I recorded this video is I thought about what would be helpful to share with you guys as it pertains to me using a teleprompter in my setup. And so thinking back, I have gotten a few questions based on teleprompters. Like the first one, when should I use a teleprompter? So a teleprompter, first of all, is a device that is placed in front of you, more than likely close to your camera lens, that allows for you to actually read through a script that you've probably pre-written so that you can actually read that script off. And because it's close to the camera lens, it looks as if you are actually just reading, not reading, but it looks as if you're actually just looking into the lens and flawlessly or effortlessly speaking. By the way, let me know if you want to see a video based on how to use a teleprompter so that it doesn't look like you're actively reading while you are recording. Let me know down in the comments if that video would be helpful for you and I would actually make it. Using a teleprompter is really helpful, right? Because sometimes we feel as if when we get on camera, we will forget everything that we want to say. We start overthinking the process of recording and feeling like I might fumble or stumble, and that's totally normal. I feel this way as well. Now, genuinely, when I'm recording a video, more than likely, I will just bullet point out my content or information, and I might put that on my teleprompter. So the bullet points, so that I'm able to flow effortlessly, while I'm recording. But there are other times where I need a bit more help. If I'm doing sponsored work, if I'm, during Thinking Color, I use my teleprompter a lot more because we have more scripted content, little behind the scenes there. There are things that are pre-written or things that we want to say about the event. And, we want to be able to deliver that effortlessly and not forget anything, right? So that's where I would use my teleprompter. Sometimes if I am recording an online course, I will use my teleprompter as well because it's just helpful to see my content if I script it out. Sometimes I speak directly from the heart, and I find that I work best that way. But, other times I want to be able to actually say what I have to say and not forget anything. And so it takes practice using a teleprompter, right? So don't feel like you use it once and you weren't great at using it, or you felt like you looked like you were reading, or, all of the thoughts that come up. Don't feel like that. Relax, you're a creator. The best thing for us to do as creators is to actually practice until we get perfect. So I'm still not completely perfect at using mine, but I'll show you how I use my teleprompter and give you a few examples. And I'll also share the type of teleprompter that I use and the app that has changed the game for me as it pertains to using this specific teleprompter. So remember that I'm just sharing with you what I do. Take what you need and leave what you don't need, because my studio is a bit more advanced. And I don't want to say, it's not advanced, but I have a bit more things. So if you're using your phone, you can still use the apps that I'm recommending. But for me, I have a camera in front of me, and my teleprompter is connected to that camera. And for my teleprompter to work, I have to use my iPad. So that's why I have it here. And so I use a desktop app where I add all of the information for the script that I'm using, and I sync it to my iPad. Now, I like this tool because I can sync things on the go, meaning when I put my iPad up there, if there's a change to the script, or when you're working during events and things like that, I don't have the time to run back and forth. So I like what they call the iCast system, where it syncs your scripts and you're able to continue moving along with reading or talking into the camera. But so I need my iPad, I need that app, that desktop app, which I will share, and I need that teleprompter specifically. And so I will show you all of that, but it's really helpful for me because I feel like there are so many teleprompter apps out there, but this one is just what I love, especially because of the interface of the desktop app. And like I said before, that syncing mechanism. Okay, so there is so much that I can go into with this app, but I'm just going to give you the bare basics so that you can understand how I use it. So first of all, let's just head over to the website itself. So the name of the app that I use is called PromptSmart, and they said is the #1 brand for teleprompter software and video production solutions. I can attest to this. I've been using this app for around 3 years, and I absolutely love it. It's been a game changer for what I do. And if you look at the site, you can see that it is an app. And I forgot to also mention, I use my phone also. So I use my iPad, my phone, and I put it into the camera, which I will show you guys, or probably have shown you already in the duration of this video. And so what my phone allows me to do is move the words as a remote, right? So I just wanted to add that in there. But it's a few apps that you can use, because the remote app is different from the PromptSmart app for the iPad that I put into my camera. And it's also different from the desktop app, which I will give you a walkthrough of as well. But this is the website. Obviously, you probably want to know, Zaylee, what about pricing? And so I'll share with you what pricing I have. I actually have the starter pack, which is $100 a year. No brainer for me. Like, it's such an effective tool for my workflow that I don't mind paying for it. Obviously, if you have a bigger team, you can get Team, which is $19.99 a year. $199 a year. $99.99 a year was great for me because of, like I said, the value that I get from it. But I also feel like this app is so good that I like locking in my prices. So I don't mind staying at $99 a year. Now, you can definitely visit promptsmart.com to see if you feel like this would work well for you. Now, obviously, they have a how it works page, and you are able to kind of go through that and see if you feel like these workflows would work well for you. We can see on the screen exactly what my teleprompter looks like. So for me, my camera is inside of this box that you kind of see here, and my iPad is right here, right? So my iPad is usually laying there, and then I can read those words, but the words are still inside of my lens. Like, your lens is going to be inside this box. So it looks as if I'm looking at you when I'm probably actually reading. Now, you can do so many things with the PromptSmart apps, and that's why I absolutely love it. You can customize your style settings. You can focus your gaze, and we can talk about that if you guys do want to see an extended video on how to not look like you are reading. But what I love most is, like I mentioned before, this cloud-based aspect. It's so good. So if you are a course creator and you're creating constantly, use a teleprompter just to make things easier for you. I think that helps us to get over the anxiety of if we're saying the right thing or doing the right thing. As a course creator, you can put a lot of pressure on yourself. Imposter syndrome can creep in, and you can feel like you're not going to do everything right or say everything right when you are in your course creation process. So this can help for sure. Now, you can see 2 screens here, and so I am actually in the process of creating one of those scripts for Thinking Color that I just told you guys about. And if you're watching this and Thinking Color has passed, I will still put that link down below so you can sign up for Thinking Color and learn what it's about. It is just an amazing event that I host every year with Thinkific. We co-founded this event, and it is just absolutely amazing. You get to see amazing women of color who are killing it in their respective industries as course creators, right? So just wanted to make sure to share that. But hey, the cool thing is I have put my script, quote unquote, into a document. So this is the Google Doc, and I'm now going to take this info and actually put it into a script for my teleprompter. So if you look here, you can see that I have a few documents here, and this is actually a folder that I've created. So I've created this folder just to keep things organized for Thinking Color 2022. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a document. So I'm not going to create a folder. I'm going to create a script, but you can definitely choose folder if you do want to create a folder like this one. So this is a folder. I have way more scripts outside of this folder, but we're just going to focus on this folder. And I'm just going to call this speaker introductions, right? And so what I'm going to do is just create that script, and I'm going to double click it to open it up. And you'll kind of see what that is, what it looks like specifically. Now, honestly, I know I don't use this app to its full potential, but I'm just giving you the basics to get you where you're going. So I am going to just literally paste that information here. And my iCast or syncing is turned on. So I'm going to save and sync so that this information shows up on my iPad. Now, of course, you could get in here and format and move things around and separate things and actually like lay it out how you would want to see it. So that's something that you can definitely do. I don't do too much of that because I like to flow, but I also use my remote, which I will show you in a bit. So let's get into it. So my teleprompter came in this really nifty box, or not a box, but you can travel with it. And I think that is pretty cool. I really love that about this teleprompter. I will link this exact teleprompter down below in the description box. I've had this teleprompter for a while now and would definitely recommend it. Now with the teleprompter, I am able to sync everything to my iPad. Of course, my lighting is above me, so you can't see very clearly, but I literally just place my iPad onto the teleprompter and I hit play. I'm going to show you what that process is like. And that is just really helpful. The other thing that I usually do is when I am recording, I usually have the remote for this teleprompter on my iPhone. So this is actually my phone. So this is what I use when I am using my remote for my teleprompter. So I will either increase, like go up, on my script, or go down, or hit play. You could do so many different things with the remote, and so I use it to control what I'm doing. So it's really helpful. Sometimes I'll lay it on my desk and kind of move back and forth depending on what I need to accomplish, whether I need to move up my script or down my script. And it's always very helpful and keeps me just focused. Sometimes I want to stop my script because I want to add some context to what I'm saying. Sometimes I want to quicken the words, like how fast they flow on the screen. And I'm also able to do that by increasing. I always keep my number at 118. So I don't know if that's going to be helpful for anyone. That's if I am using the teleprompter natively and allowing it to kind of do its thing, for a lack of better words, as in play, I will use 118 words. I don't know if this is words per minute. I don't know what the reference is, but I know I always go to 118. If I go above 118, it's too fast. And if I am below that, which is the default, I think is around 70 something, it's too slow. Now you don't have to use the remote at all, because the cool thing about this teleprompter is it can work by your voice. So if your camera is close enough to you, the teleprompter can actually catch that you are reading and kind of transcribe those words and move along with your reading. For me, that doesn't work because my teleprompter is far away from me. So when I'm using my teleprompter, I need something that I can control it with. Now, the other thing is that if the words are moving too quickly, I need to be able to hit that up button and go back up. So your brain is also working to where if it's moving too quickly, you know you need to move back up, but also if you're doing something live, you have to have something handy like the remote so that you're able to have control of that. So like I said before, if your teleprompter is closer to you, you don't have to do this. But for me, my teleprompter is further away from me, and it's really helpful for me to use it in this way. But these are my tools, guys. I use my phone, right? So I have the remote app on my phone, the Prompt Smart remote control on my phone. And then I use my iPad as that reflector for the teleprompter. And that's kind of my workflow and how I use Prompt Smart. If I'm doing something live, like this morning, we had an amazing live roundtable. And so I was able to actually use my Prompt Smart teleprompter and navigate with my remote. Now, I did share on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, I am at Zaylee Barclay on Instagram. That's XAYLIBARCLAY. I'll link that down below as well. But I shared the back end. So if you looked at my time lapse for the back end, you could have seen my hands moving really quickly in production while I was live. And while I was live, you would never know that all of that was going on. So that's why I like to share my back end on Instagram when I am working. But this just makes things easy for me. And whether I'm live or I'm doing something live or I'm doing something pre-recorded, having a teleprompter there for some support is always good. Now, for my live this morning, I had a smaller window. So because I knew I was going to be using my hands a lot with my teleprompter, I made sure to zoom in my view. So you didn't know that I was using a teleprompter unless you're familiar and really good at that. But because my hands were down here on the desk, now that I've hidden it, I was moving very quickly, but you were only seeing me talking specifically into the camera like I am doing right now. But if my zoom is off and you can see my desk, then you would have known. So those things help me understand what my shot is going to look like when I'm doing it. And I use this for online courses all of the time, or sponsored videos, or, so don't feel handicapped if you do have to use a teleprompter. Nothing is wrong with that. I feel like I've been doing videos for so long, my brain sometimes is not as quick, or if I'm in a certain space in my cycle, my brain moves slower. And so I need that support of the teleprompter. And sometimes I'm fine. Like today, I'm not really using one. You can say I have my iPad right here with me and I'm flowing effortlessly and talking to you. All right, guys. So this is the teleprompter. And so this is what I use. I kind of explained to you that it looks like a box, right? This is the camera aspect of everything. And from here all the way here is the teleprompter. Now my lens is somewhere in there. You'll see it if you do look on the front end of the teleprompter. I love this teleprompter. I've had it for a few years. It is very sturdy. Like it's just now starting to fall apart a little bit, but it's such a sturdy teleprompter. I'm really happy that I got it when I did. And I know that when I say it's falling apart, there's just a little part up here that can do with a little glue, but nothing too crazy. Now, the other part of this is my actual iPad. So this is the iPad right here, and I just place it into this bracket in front of the teleprompter, and it allows for me to see the reflection of the words on the iPad. So this allows for me to, see the words and read the words, and that's what makes it look like I'm looking into the teleprompter itself. I really love this setup. It's really efficient for me, and I hope this kind of explains what a teleprompter is to you. This little portion here keeps everything nice and dark inside of the teleprompter so that it reflects properly. And it's really simple to set up. I have it set up on a tripod, and it's tilted a little bit forward so that I can see it from my seat over there under the light. Now I do want to show you, how the phone and the remote works. So if I scroll up, you'll see the teleprompter moving over there. So let me just show you the teleprompter by itself. So this is kind of how I scroll, right? And so you can see if I hit play, this will start moving on its own, right? Without me doing anything super specific. And then I'll hit stop here and it will stop. right? And I'll hit play again. And I can be as far away from the teleprompter as possible. This works via Wi-Fi. And so that keeps everything just flowing and going as you would like it. So like I said, sometimes I will just use the up and down keys because that allows for me to go at my own pace if my hands are not showing. And I'll show you a shot of what that looks like later on in this video. But this is how I use my teleprompter. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is just how far I am from the teleprompter. And you know, that's what allows for the reason why I have to have it so far away from me because of my setup or how my setup is. If you don't have to have your teleprompter this far away from you, then you don't, you know, if you have a smaller space, that's fine too. All right, let's get into that next scene. Okay guys, you can see how far away my teleprompter is from me. So when you see me in the studio, I am sitting way over where you see that microphone right there. And you can see the camera is all the way over to the left over here, right? So, and then I have that overhead light. I do have the lights on. If I take the lights off, this is what it looks like. So the only two things that would be lit would be my teleprompter, because I can see the light from the iPad, and then me over there in that section. And so this is my setup, and this is how I use that teleprompter from way over there. I can see things really clearly. You guys know I do have a monitor in front of me, so that monitor is, I think, 46 inches if I'm not mistaken, or it could be larger. It's like a large TV, but it allows for me to host all of my presentations and all those things. So sometimes I flow between the teleprompter and the monitor in front of me, and that monitor is an LG monitor. I think I paid $1,000 for it, but it has made my workflow so much easier. And I have my camera angled that way, so I'm not looking too far away from my camera if I have to look at the people on the screen on the monitor. So I host lots of meetings. I also host client calls. I do consulting. I do so many things from this space. So I had to make a space that was just easy for me to navigate and use in almost every single situation. So I hope this is helpful for you. This is my teleprompter setup. These are the tools I use and love, and I hope that this is really helpful for you on your own journey of building your own space to create your online courses, to create your content, whatever it is that you do. I hope this is helpful for you. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions about this teleprompter, let me know down below. I will leave the links down below for all that we spoke about during this conversation. And let me know what you think about using a teleprompter. Is it something that you have thought about using? Are you using one? Do you use one consistently? Let me know. I would love to know more about you down in the comments. And thank you for watching this video. Welcome to the Start, Shoot, Grow Studio. And if you have not subscribed just yet, I would encourage you to do so, because I have so much more content just like this, just hanging around for you. Really helpful content, and I would love to have you be part of the family. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Take care.